Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. It's week 3 of the NFL. We're talking Texans and Steelers. We've got a nice little deal, 15% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net if you use the code SCC. The Steelers are favorites in this one, -4. The total is really low at 45. Scott Rickenbach joining us to talk this matchup where the Texans are 0-2 straight up and also against the spread. The Steelers are 2-0 entering this game, but 1-1 against the number. So, Scott, what stands out to you when you look at these two teams?
Well, like you said, a low total here, a bit surprising, but I think a lot of that has to do with the way the Steelers' defense has performed. They certainly gave Denver a ton of problems in that matchup. But here's the key to this game, in my opinion. Like you said, we're looking at a 2-0 team facing an 0-2 team. But Baltimore is playing Kansas City on Monday night. Why do I bring that up? It's probably an AFC Championship preview game. And at the same time, those are the two teams that the Texans have played. That certainly has a lot to do with Houston being 0-2 on the season. And Pittsburgh, I know Big Ben is back for them, and they're 2-0 this season, but they played the Giants and the Broncos, as I mentioned. Those two teams, a combined 11-21 last season. Neither team has won a game yet this season. So I feel that we're going to see a potential upset here on the road with the Texans, and I certainly would be grabbing the points here with Houston in this matchup. Pittsburgh a little bit overrated at this point. Last year, their offense was so bad, and again, I know Big Ben is back, but let's not overestimate considering the two opponents they faced in the first 2 weeks of the season. And let's not forget that Pittsburgh was just a 500 team last year. Texans 10-6, won their first playoff game, then had a 24-point lead in their second playoff game against that same Chiefs team that once again went on to win the Super Bowl and looks pretty strong early this season as well. So I'm not nuts about the line here. Really, either way, I agree with you, Chelsea, that the total seems suspiciously low. That always makes me have a little caution in even getting involved with the total when I feel the number looks a little bit funny. In terms of the side, though, I wish I was getting more points here with the Texans. That's the only thing I don't like. But still, in this case, I would recommend a play on Houston plus the points for those reasons that I just mentioned.
I think that's an excellent point, and that was the first thing I wrote down is the Steelers played the Giants and the Broncos, and the Texans
Yeah.
have played the Chiefs and the Ravens. That's as far apart as you could possibly get when it comes to your opponents. And everybody's been raving about the Steelers defense, but once again, they've played the Giants and the Broncos, two teams that aren't exactly offensive juggernauts. And even the Broncos, they had Jeff Driscoll come in of relief of Drew Lock, who got hurt, and he actually put up some points against the Steelers. I think the metric that everybody is wondering, though, is Deshaun Watson under pressure, because the Texans do give up a lot of pressure or a lot of hits when it comes to their offensive line for Deshaun Watson. He does great things with his feet, but you can only do so much when you're under pressure. The Texans have allowed the most quarterback pressures in the entire league. And then you have the Steelers defense that had 7 sacks last game and already have 10 sacks on the season. So that's a matchup that I'll be looking to see what happens in that one, because I think on paper it looks like the Steelers are going to have their way with Deshaun Watson. But from what I've seen from Deshaun Watson, he can make a lot of plays with his feet. What do you think?
I agree with you 100%. That's going to be the interesting element here because if the Steelers can continue to get pressure, like you said, no matter how mobile that quarterback is, it can completely disrupt the rhythm of an offense. And honestly, that's why I feel this total is as low as it is. Again, it looks a little bit
Right.
funny maybe being this low, but it could be justified because I'm not crazy about Pittsburgh's offense, even with Big Ben back. And when you look at the Texans, again, like you said, they could struggle a bit here with their offensive line having some holes in the way Pittsburgh's been putting pressure on quarterbacks. It could be an interesting matchup. So,
Right. The only reason I'm staying away from this game is because there's so many things that kind of contrast on both sides. Because originally I liked it under in this game, and then I saw the number and I was like, wow, 45 is really low, especially for a Texans offense that can score points. You know, if Deshaun Watson is clicking, obviously he doesn't have DeAndre Hopkins this season, but the under has been hot for the Steelers. 8 of their last 10 games have hit for the Steelers, and even with really low totals, 4 of those in the 30s, and the highest being 44. So I know this is a low number, but I think the under is still worth a look here.
Definitely, I would agree with you there. That would be the way I would look in this matchup, and especially, Pittsburgh. I haven't looked at the weather for this particular matchup on Sunday, but you can get a little bit of wind there, and that can affect things as well. So that would be something to look into, and certainly would help with the under if we've got some wind going on in Pittsburgh for this weekend.
All right. Well, I think we covered all the aspects that we can think of for everyone betting this game, no matter what side or total you're on. We've got you covered here at Picks and Parlays. Good stuff from Scott Rickenbach. Scott, thanks for joining us.